So, you have a story that will rock every reader's world and have them banging on your door desperate for more stories if they could just know about it. Welcome to my channel, KC, that's me, Carrie Chug, the Sledge Storyteller, here to talk about the wonderful world of storytelling and to open up discussion about how we can tell the best stories we possibly can. So we wouldn't be telling these stories if we didn't want readers to experience them and to be enthralled with the entertainment, or be enlightened with our insights on our own world view as depicted in our stories. In any case, we have to find ways to create public awareness of it. Now, as all people with publishing aspirations should, I have looked into multiple sources for insight on effective marketing. Among my favorites, The Complete Guide to Self-Publishing Comics by Comfort Love and Adam Withers. In fact, I bought it from Comfort Love herself at the Salt Lake FanX convention. And like many good references, it includes insight from several successful self-publishing comic creators. But one noteworthy passage by Love and Withers is, to begin marketing a self-published comic, manga, or webcomic, you need to recognize that in many ways your comic is not your product. You are your product. If they like you, if they care about you, they'll want to support you. This is how you grow your audience in today's market, by being a cool, interesting person who others care about. Now, think about all the media that's out there. We pass up so many potentially good titles, largely because we don't have enough time. And your work is no exception to that. You need to be in an attitude of getting every advantage you can. And I will emphasize that you should keep it legal and ethical. But take advantage of every non-nagging option and opportunity for the public to know about you as well as your brand. Hence, this is among many videos on YouTube and Instagram that I've been making, in which Sledge is primarily a footnote. It's mainly an option I take for me to make myself known internationally and all about subject matter that I can't talk enough about. But you can do this across social media, the whole spectrum. Now, perhaps the most prestigious option is the publicity appearance, like an arranged book signing in a bookstore, or most prestigiously, in a booth at a convention. Now, I mean, there can be an emotional connection in this video setting, but it's a no-brainer that people will be more eager to be patron to your work if they can connect with you in person. And as is often the case, the most effective options are often pricey. In this case, it's renting the space and setting good displays with striking imagery to attract attention and give people a good idea about what your stories are all about. Another one I want to mention is free sampling. And yes, that too means spending money in the prospect of making money. But this just isn't willy-nilly randomly handing out copies to every passerby, especially not handing out to your fellow nerd friends. They're the ones you have to hope will support you financially in buying copies, maybe give them discounts or rebates, but they should understand your need for financial support, at least in sales. But the best form of free sampling that I can speak of, and it may not be an option in all areas, it's using neighborhood little free libraries. Now, they can be everywhere or few and far between. It all depends on who decides in a particular area to set one up. Now, I do have my friend and contributing editor, Brandon Mason, to thank for this idea. I'll tell you, the vast majority of the time I have left sample copies in these boxes, they got picked up within a week. But don't just toss them into boxes. Make sure that you insert some form of leaflet with a good preface of what the title is all about, what your work is all about, who you are, and something like a website URL, or in my case, my YouTube channel name. Interestingly, there have been several times shortly after the copy got picked up at one of those places that I got new subscribers. But I'm curious, are there any subscribers watching this who found out about the channel that way? I'd like to know. Let me know in the comments section. And while you do want to bridle how you bring up your work with people, have a little patience. Those opportunities come. Case in point, I was made part of a Zoom group recently. The host grabbed my attention with an image of Gotham City with a bat signal showing above the skyline in his background. He said it was okay for everyone else to have their choice of background, so I went ahead and used And I was actually glad that there was no immediate response to my selecting that. But the host then opened up a basic get-to-know-you setup with questions to answer. He started with himself, and he did mention how much of a comic book nerd he was. And of course, had other interesting things to say about himself. Then it was my turn. I talked about my own nerdiness and then pointed to Sledge and my background and said that I published my own story. And then without missing a beat, I then rounded myself out about myself, talking about my uniquely stronger than average long-term memory. And then, basic bucket list. But everyone said all that was interesting, and then the host retracted and said he wanted the web address to order Sledge number 1. Naturally, I obliged. Now, I say this, it's an experience that's not the typical response to my mentioning what I published in that type of setting, but it's like fishing. You do it knowing that the majority of casts you give, they won't get a bite. But that's my insight on selling your brand. Agree, disagree, or something I left out? Please let me know in the comments section. If you like this video, please click like. If you like this channel, please click subscribe or follow me on Instagram. And as always, the link to order Sledge number 1 is below the description right there, or you can order it on Kindle. I'll keep saying it. Let's try to be civil with each other. Let's try to get along. Let's try to be respectful of everybody's views and not immediately dismiss it. And during this time, we know that the pandemic's not over. Let's take the precautions we're supposed to. And I'll always implore everybody who's eligible, please get the vaccine. Thanks for watching. Everyone, be safe. God bless.